Hi, I'm Raj Thandhi. As a food and culture writer, I'm often drawn to stories that are connected to my ancestry. The ones that I find the most intriguing are often the ones that also surprise me. Before I met Rattan Singh and Vattandeep Singh, I actually didn't know about Punjab's deep history with horseback riding and equestrian sports. This is how that cultural connection led these two immigrants to set up their dream here in Abbotsford.
I'm from Punjab, so my village name is Koman Kala from there. That's where I was born and grew up. I remember my first interaction with the horse when I was probably around 4. One of my dad's uncle, he came to our farm on the horse. So that's when I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. It was our first competition that happened in Chandigarh. So that's the first time I won a medal. While there was an arena full of people when we call it victory canter. So when they put the rosette on your horse and you do a victory lap all around the arena, then people are cheering for you when you win. So that's when like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is what I want to do it.
First time I rode a horse was when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I don't remember much of that, but my grandfather used to tell me that I came off that horse very fast. But when I went to Punjabi school, Naba, they had this sport as a horseback riding. They had about 22 horses in that barn. And that's when I was actually formally introduced to horseback riding. The way we look at where we come from, who we are, what we represent. Our 6th guru started horseback riding, and it was very important for every Sikh to learn horseback riding. Back then, it was the mean of transportation and a mean of getting around. If you cannot get around fast enough, you cannot do anything.
Vattandeep and Rattan both moved to Canada for post-secondary education, but they missed riding and participating in equestrian activities. So they started looking for opportunities to ride here in Canada and faced many barriers in their effort.
The barrier was when we went to see them. We find that people were kind of hesitant to put me on the horse because of the appearance, and they think you're not able to ride because they haven't seen anybody from eastern side of the world riding here in the North America. When we started to ride here, it was our coach Janice. She was the first one who gave us a chance to put us on the horse, and she saw not just the appearance or the color. She was more about the talent that she saw in me and Rattan. So she gave us a chance, and that's where our actual equestrian journey in Canada started. So we were riding her horses, training her horses, competing on her horses. She was one of our backbones then. After that, I pretty much have very positive experiences. You always get those eyes, but kind of like ignoring those are very minimal now. So we have made good friends in industry as well, but now it's overall a positive experience. Up. Good job. And 1. Up.
So think about a basketball or football. All you need is a football and 2 posts, and you got your game. Here you need a horse. Here you need training. Horses are expensive. Training is expensive. Barns are expensive. Land is expensive. So when you look at the price tag, it took me and Vattan to come back and sit in the saddle. It took us about a good 15 years, where now we have our own home ground, which is very important. We have our own horses which can compete. Like right now, the horses we have, these are Belgian warm bloods. When kids come in, they start off with grooming their horse. They start off with looking at the, how much water is in the horse's stall, looking at horse's stall. They start off with this responsibility of having, their best friend here. They want to make sure it's well taken care of. and then they dress him up, they saddle him up themselves, and they clean him up themselves, and then they ride him. And when they're riding, it's almost like playing a sport with another partner or companion. And that companionship is something which you cannot explain in the words. That companionship, what they learn, what they gain, is something which is a huge part of their daily routine.
I've loved horses ever since I was little, and I always wanted to start riding them. I just wasn't allowed to because my parents thought it was too dangerous. And then after begging for a very long time, when I was 13 years old, they finally let me. I want to be in FEI show jumping one day. I want to represent Team Canada in the Olympics for show jumping.
So I always call them future Olympians. I never just call them just kids riding the horses. We always call them future Olympians.
Having this touch with the nature, with the horses, is very, very, very important for any human being, any kid. Because first thing you learn in horseback riding is you ride a horse, you make a connection, you fall, and you get on the horse again. And that's exactly what life is.
It was such a pleasure to meet Rattan, Vattandeep, their horses and their students. They have come such a long way from their first childhood rides in India to setting up Punjab Equestrian Centre right here in Abbotsford based on their deep faith and history.